Hey guys, Thomas here from Reach Right. Hope you're doing well today. This is another one of our tutorials, and the topic at hand today is how you add a new event to your Reach Right website. It really is a pretty easy thing to do, and we're going to try and show you how to do that here today. From anywhere on the site, once you're logged in, you'll always see this column on the top that says New. There's a plus sign and New. And there's many options here, like adding a new post for your blog, new media, which is images, new page to the site, a new portfolio item. That's the term we use for sermons. But the topic at hand today is how to add a new event. So you'll see that from the drop down there. And what you would do is simply click event, add a new event, and it'll bring up a handy screen that will walk us through step by step how to make a new event on the website here. We'll start out like everything. This should be a pretty familiar screen to you, but we'll start out by giving it a title. So we'll just call this event, and we'll give it a title. Every event should have some kind of a title because you'll watch what it happens here is it gives the title a link on the website. So this event will have a permanent location. So you'll see that it goes to whatever your domain is /event / the name of the event. So it's kind of confusing because we chose the name event, so it says it twice. But if you maybe titled the name maybe youth group, it would say event / youth group there on the top. Here's where you'll put in the normal text for the event. So if you want to talk about, you don't need to put in times or location information, but maybe just a couple of sentences. So this is usually paragraph text about the event, maybe who it's for, what's going to happen at the event, some of those kinds of things. Because as you'll see, some of the more detailed information gets pulled in from other places. So you'll just type in some content. So we'll just call this some content so you can see it later. And that is there. And then below that, that's where you'll start to see some of the different options we can choose on how this event fits into the rest of the events and how it relates to the calendar, those kinds of things. So most of this will be pretty self-explanatory, but I'll give you a quick walkthrough for it. You have the option for an all-day event. So if it's something is an event that's going to happen all day, maybe sometimes you'll do this for like maybe a vacation Bible school, things that are really long-term events that maybe go over a few days. You'll use the all-day event or a conference. But most events, they'll have a specific start time and an end time. So for the start time, you'll obviously just put that in, and it'll you can put in the time and the date. The site should be set to your time zone, so that shouldn't be an issue at all. And it's really important that you also have an end time in there because that's how it knows the site is smart enough on your list view of your events. If an event has already happened, it's not going to appear on the top of the list anymore. It'll still be there in the archive, and it'll still be there on the month view, but this is really handy because it keeps your church from having an event that took place yesterday still showing up at the top of the event list. So always put in an event time that's on there. So beyond that, there's a location for every event. Most events at churches take place at the church, but let's say you have a event at a community center or in someone's home. That's a nice tool for this. You can even have different venues that you save in here. So you'll see there's lots of different venues that this church has used over the years. But they can choose an existing venue or you could add a new venue. This is really a neat feature because it actually gives a link and a map right on the event. So you don't need to give directions or anything to the event. It'll automatically have a link to Google Maps so people can get directions and a map right on the website there. So you can fill out that information there. And then after that, there's this section for organizers. This is the person that's in charge of the event. So the nice thing about this is it doesn't all have to fall to one person. Whoever's editing the website doesn't have to be responsible for every event that you guys ever create there. So you'll put in the name of an organizer here. You'll see you can have some memorized ones of staff member. There's me. But you can do those kind of things. We'll just choose me for this sake here. So it has that information in there, but you can enter an individual anytime you want there. If you have a special website for the event, maybe it is a outside event. Let's say your church is going to a local baseball game or to a concert. You can link off to information on how they can get those things. And then below that, you'll see a event cost section. Now, I want to be clear about this. The event system by itself does not have a built-in payment gateway. So this is a way to list the cost of the event or tell people what the cost is, but this is not a cart system where people can buy tickets to an event or sign up for an event in that way. You certainly can sign up by using our form system, but there's not a clear way with our basic event system to be able to charge people to go to an actual event through this. If you did need that kind of functionality, we can have a talk about it and we can work up a quote on how we can make that happen. So that's it in this section. On the right-hand side, this is how we categorize the event now. You'll see over here on the right, there's some tags that you can put in. This is mostly for you to be able to list a few things that maybe people would search for that are tied to the event. So if the event is maybe a youth camp, you might tag it with youth or with camp or with the name of the camp, some of those kinds of things. This is really more optional. The event category is a little bit more important. You don't have to use them, but some churches like their events categorized by usually the ministry that's doing them. So if it is a youth ministry event or a children's ministry event or a women's or men's, that's where you would put that, just so people, if they're looking for a specific kind of an event, if it's a man, he's not going to be looking for women's ministry events, for instance. So he can have that really easy access there for him. And then here's probably one of the most important pieces of this featured image section. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And you'll see that every image, every event, there's a spot for a featured image. So let's just go ahead and use this baptism image for this purpose here. We'll go ahead and set that as the featured image. You can drag and drop, just to go back to that for a second, you can drag and drop any image you want into this section here. With all of our featured images at ReachRight, we always recommend this size. It's 1200 pixels wide by 628 pixels tall. So 1200 by 628. That's how you would do that there. The reason for that is because that's the best size for sharing images on social media. And if somebody wants to share your event or invite their friends on Facebook, it'll give a great looking image that'll be right in the event when they share it. Really a cool feature that way. So once you have all of that, it really is as simple as going ahead and hitting publish, and the event will now publish and be put right into the church's calendar. And in addition, once it's in the calendar there, it also has its own page. So you'll see that you can actually go and view the event. And let's go ahead and take a look at the event that we created. So you'll see the name of the event, again, is event. It has the times right up here. It has that featured image section. Here's where it says some content. There's some related events. So this is kind of a neat feature on some of our sites where people can see other events that are similar. And then all the detail information. I don't think we chose to add a Google map because we didn't have an exact location. But people even have the functionality to add it to their Google Calendar or to their iCal. So really neat functionalities built in there. So that's about it for events. It really is a piece of cake to do. If you have any questions, as always, just go ahead and shoot us an email. If not, God bless you. Enjoy your site and do it for the kingdom.